Hey guys, Joe Mox here. Welcome to my channel again. I am a guitar player and content creator, and it's been a while since my last video, but today I wanted to take the lead again, talking about my experience with the Evertune solar guitar with this kind of bridge system. This guitar, I've been with it like 8 months or something. It is a S1.6 PB, meaning Popular Burst. This is the name of the finish. I don't know even if Popular Burst is the correct way to pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I got it like B-stock. I have used it both live and in a studio. But today, from some hours in the future, it's gonna part ways with me because I found a new proud owner to this beautiful piece of gear. So this video is kind of a farewell to this machine, and I wanna give my 2 cents on this kind of system. So before I start to give my 2 cents on this bridge, I just wanted to go really quickly through the specs of this particular guitar. So it is a maple neck. It's C-shape. It has ebony fretboard, 24 jumbo frets, stainless steel frets. It has Duncan Solar on the neck and Duncan Solar on the bridge. I think it's the same pickup. 5 switch selector, a tone knob, master tone knob, the master volume, and the Evertune bridge. I think it also have solar locking tuners, and you see this neck is like several pieces. And it's a wonderful guitar overall. So this guitar, you will say it's a normal metal super strat. The key point here is this kind of bridge. So from my understanding, and I will try my best to share what I have learned with this kind of bridge over the last 8 months. This guitar basically has in this cavity like a serial of springs that compensate the whatever is happening here. So it tries to always compensate the tension that you set up. So it's really hard for this guitar to get out of tune, and hence the name Evertune. But it has some nuances because you have 3 sounds of setup. You have like a song 1, which I think nobody uses a lot. Then you have song 2, which puts the guitar in tune, but you cannot bend. And then you put the guitar in sound 3. And that sound basically maintains the guitar in tune, but you are able to bend. And this is the case of this guitar. I have set up like that. So some weird thing about this guitar is that you don't tune it using these tune heads, the locking tuners. More or less, you've used this thing to put it in the tension and to put the correct angle on the saddles, but then you complete the tuning with a Allen key that is universal for all the screws you have on the bridge. I don't have it right now, but basically in this upper one you change the tuning, and then you have here in the saddle. Then in this one you change control the string height, and then with this screw here in the back you change the intonation. So you have intonation, string height, and in the saddles, the actual tuning. So it's a little bit weird because if you're playing live and you feel like some strings a little bit flat or something, you need to have like your Allen key in your pocket and do the adjustment. It's a little bit weird to not use these actual tunings heads to do the proceedment of tuning the guitar. But overall, it's a really interesting and amazing feature, and I think it makes a lot of sense, especially in a studio. So, what's the difference, for example, with a fixed bridge guitar? For example, I have this Solar, and as you can see, the bridge is fixed. And actually, I think this one also have Duncan Solar pickups. So, essentially, it's also a Super Strat, but with a different bridge. Even it's the same 5 switch selector, the master knob on the tone and the volume. So it's virtually almost the same guitar, but this has a little bit more fancy stuff, you know, the locking tuner, the stainless steel frets, but it's almost the same guitar. Do I prefer this guitar over that one? I don't know, it depends. For example, in a studio, I think for the rhythm parts, some rhythm parts, if you want them like really tight, this makes a lot of sense. And it saves time, you don't have to, you know, keep retuning every string after each take, like you have to do with this kind of fixed bridge. Something that I think also is really amazing is the even the leads stay better in tune when you are doing like a lot of bends and stuff. Like often if you're playing like, I don't know, like a solo that has a lot of bending, usually in these other guitars you have to retune right away after you finish that song. You could go with this one like 3 or 4 songs and still be pretty much in good tune. It's not endless, so you eventually have to take off your key and do a little bit of tweaking and in the saddle and put it in the correct tuning. But it doesn't go really wild, so it's really stable. So for me, it's all wins so far. But I think for some scenarios, I still prefer this one. For example, if I have a set list, I'm playing live, and this guitar right now is in E standard because I'm selling it, but I often use it in drop C. So cool, I have a drop C guitar, and for example, with this same guitar, what I did is in the set list we have like drop A sharp, even drop D. So the guitar was physically tuned in drop C, but using a pedal, the pedal, the Line 6 HX Stomp XL, I changed the tuning, and I could still perform with this guitar. But what happened, for example, we have like a Arch Enemy song on drop C, in standard C, so I had to change the relationship of the 6th string from drop to standard. In this case, if drop C, the common thing will be to put this guitar in D. So now the guitar will be in standard D, and from the standard D I could use the pedal to go to standard C. But changing this like in a live situation is extremely it's time consuming, and you just want to do that like in seconds. And in that case, I think this makes much more sense, because it's a fixed bridge. You just detune your 6th string to drop or raise it again to standard or whatever, and of course you have to retune a little bit, but it's way faster than taking out the Allen key and do a lot of turns, and it is not, for me it's really weird and time consuming to do that change on a fly on that kind of bridges. The only thing is that it's true that this might not be as tight on the rhythm, but when you hit, you know, the strings, I'm used to, you know, this pitch variation. Like that one almost feels like Evertune, you know, like you're boom, and it doesn't go like the full movement of the string, because the strings are doing his job, and it stays like really in the pitch. So it feels a little bit weird, like in a little bit out of tune, quote unquote. Don't take me too seriously on this. I'm just trying to explain the difference. And honestly, I think for my playing, for what I do, I prefer a little bit this more. Like you can feel the guitar like going a little bit flat, like you hit some note and the pitch is a little bit more wild. You finish the song and you retune easily, but I don't know, that one, it's like a little bit artificial or something. It's a great tool. I think it's amazing. I will probably get another Evertune in the future. I think an LTD with a Les Paul LTD with Evertune or something like that. Right now I just need money, and I'm not currently using that one much, so it makes sense to leave it, get it off of my guitar collection. But it's not that it's a great tool at all, and in fact that solar guitar is perfect. But the other thing is that the bridge is a little bit makes it a little bit more heavy. So if I take both, yeah, this weight a little bit more, and it's because of the spring and all the mechanism that this bridge have, that this one is way more simple and it doesn't have it. So I think honestly that's when you're doing a full set list, a little bit less of weight is something you appreciate when you're standing like 1 hour, 2 hours performing. Okay, I also have this Solar with Floyd Rose, which again is a super strapped HH configuration. This one is with Fishman Fluence, but it's a Floyd Rose. I think if I want like a really stable tuning, I still prefer a little bit more the Floyd. And it's because, I don't know, at least from my understanding and the experience I have setting up my own guitars, I find way easier to understand the system of a Floyd Rose guitar. You see, a Floyd Rose have like the tension that the strings are applying to the bridge, so they are trying to make it go to that direction, and then you have on the back some springs that are making it go towards the guitar. So basically that's why it is a floating bridge, you know, because it is between two tensions, the tension of the strings and the tension of the springs, and if you set it up correctly, it stays in the middle. So if you make it go up, then again it returns to the middle. Same with if you do a dive bomb or something, the springs on the back make it go again to the center. And if you see, this guitar is really well set up. I set it up myself, this bridge. And then of course sometimes it goes a little bit out of tune if you do much wonking on the Floyd, but you have the micro tuners, and still is a guitar that holds tuning very well, since you have this system to lock in the strings, but you feel like more natural, the binding, the vibrato, the resonance of the guitar. And also another thing that I don't like much the Evertune is, I think it in the lead department you lose a little bit of sustain, in my opinion. It depends on what kind of music you do. If straightforward metal, I think it makes sense to sacrifice sustain for more tightness on the rhythm I see that guitar more like a rhythm guitar, in my opinion, than a guitar that to play leads. At the end of the day, this is a little bit of nitpicking. The three of them, the fixed bridge, this Floyd, and the Evertune, are amazing tools. As you can see, I love solar guitars. I don't have any relationship commercially with them. It's just that I love the product and I think they are great. They are metal guitars, in my opinion. This one and LTD, the best, like the best that you can get for your money. So to wrap it up, it is a bad system, not at all. I think it's amazing. It's offers a solution, especially on the rhythm part for metal. Having that tightness, having that endurance of the tuning makes it way easier in, for example, the studio, when you do a lot of takes and you gain a lot of time not having to retune after each take like you have to do on especially a fixed bridge guitar that goes a little bit more often out of tune. I think it brings that amazing feature which comes really handily. In live situation I think it's amazing as well, although I will prefer to use this guitar more in studio than live situation, but that's just me. I see a lot of people using it live, and it makes sense because you have to care less about the tuning. But if you have to do a quick changes on a fly, I think this guitar is either you have to have this guitar and another one with the other tuning, or it's better to have like a Les Paul with a tune-o-matic or a fixed bridge that you can go from a standard to drop way faster, you know. I also don't like the really tiny variation on the pitch, you know, when you hit the note. Sometimes you want to do like, I think this kind of bends, you know, rhythm bends sounds better on a fixed bridge or even in a Floyd Rose. I think the weight is a con as well. If you're playing a lot of time, I prefer a guitar that is a little bit lighter than this. And I don't like how it feels sometimes doing bends and stuff. It's a little bit nitpicky because it does its works amazingly, and I'm actually saying it because I'm not gonna use it, not because it's a bad instrument or anything. And I think the last con that I could find is that it has some learning curve to understand the sounds, what is sound 2, what is sound 3, how to set it up. You have to see a lot of tutorials and graphics and understand the mechanism. I don't know, it makes it a little bit more complex to, you know, debug and touch it yourself. If I were to change this guitar a lot, I prefer to give it to a luthier than doing myself. Like, I have way more experience with the Floyd Rose or the fixed bridge. And the other thing is the string gauges. For example, I'm using right now a 10 to 52, but if you want to use like a way heavier gauge, like 12 to 60 or something like that, you will need to change the saddle and buy external stuff, or change a different saddle that can take that weight and that pressure with that new string gauge. Something that, for example, in a fixed bridge, this one actually have 12 to 60, and the only thing that I need to do was to file down a little bit the nut, and perfect. This is a little bit more complex because you have to change the saddle, and I don't know, man. I tried sometimes to keep like a simplistic and workable and steady solution. So that's why I'm basically parting ways with this guitar. Before finish this video, I want to make some demonstration on how the guitar sounds in sound 2 and in sound 3.